Hello and welcome to the Swing for Contact Baseball Podcast. In our preseason previews and projections, we have the AL Central on the docket for today. Everyone's favorite, everyone's best, highly rated teams in all of baseball, the AL Central. And last year's winner were the Minnesota Twins. So why don't we start there today? Aiden, Minnesota Twins, talk to me.
So, Twins, their mantra last year was kind of they had probably one of the better rotations in the league, which if you looked at it before the season, you probably weren't thinking it was going to be one of the better ones. So that's why I'm gonna keep it a little easy on the rotation this year. I think it's a little bit. I mean, it's obviously worse than last year. You lost Sonny Gray. That's a big part of it. But they also have a guy who's kind of like a dark horse Cy Young option, and Pablo Lopez. Um,
I like
Give me
Pablo.
just a second. Yeah, I like Pablo a lot. I'm pretty high on I've been high on Joe Ryan. Just because I really liked his card in the show last year. The what was it?
That
I
Charisma
don't remember what it's
series.
called. The Charisma series card. Uh, Hold up. Let me pull this up real quick.
Noah, while he's doing that.
Oh, I mean, it's the Twins. They play in Minnesota. I don't know.
Fascinating discovery. That's
Perfect.
I don't know. I'll dive deep. I was just waiting on Aiden to get his.
but
Here's a fun fact for you.
Let me.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, let me dive deep then. Their lineup could be pretty nice. You got Edward. I can't even say his name. Julian.
Julian.
Yeah. Hey, it looks different. If Byron Buxton could stay healthy, man, like that's all I'm asking for. This guy's been if he stays healthy, he could be an MVP candidate for like 5 years now. Like I just want to see a Byron Buxton healthy season. You got Correa, who is due for some positive regression.
7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Royce Lewis, who I don't think he could. Is he eligible for Rookie of the Year this year?
Royce is not eligible for Rookie of the Year. People are really high on Royce Lewis.
I'm high on Royce Lewis.
I get it,
Royce
but
Lewis.
There's a lot of like really high expectations for Royce Lewis, and I'm like, pull back a little bit.
I love Royce Lewis. Then you got Kepler, Santana, who's older than the oldest thing I can think of right now.
Dirt.
You got Matt Warner, Jeffers, and Kirilloff. Their bullpens, probably their strongest point. You got Brock Stewart, O'Kurt, Duran in the back. So
Griffin Jack's pretty solid guy in the bullpen.
Yeah, this is probably the best team in the division. I mean, that's not saying a lot. You could probably win 84 games this year and win this division. So that's what I've got about the Twins, I guess.
No, is that a hand raise?
Oh, did I raise my hand? Oh
No.
no, I was looking at my watch.
Oh, I got you.
You're asleep up. I don't know.
Bring him along.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the Twins: obviously, you take Correa from Houston. They just signed Carlos Santana, but 7 out of their 9 projected lineup are all Twins products. Everyone was drafted really in the first 2 rounds on this team. Matt Wallner, first round draft pick. Ryan Jeffers, second round pick. Alex Kirilloff, first round pick. Royce Lewis, first round pick. Buxton was a first round pick back in like 2012. Edward Julian was a late round, like 18th round pick, but he's the oddball here. And then Max Kepler was a amateur free agent out of Germany back in 2009. Yeah, 2009. So this is a fully like grown team from Minnesota. They had a lot of other parts that they traded out and brought all these young guys up. It's an interesting team. I think it is the most complete. They've got 2-3 really quality pitchers in the rotation. Losing Gray obviously hurts. That you can't just like snap your fingers and replace that. But Pablo, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober are all fun. No, I remember at one time you were a Chris Paddock guy, weren't you?
Who?
Chris Paddock. He was a Ranger at one point.
I couldn't tell you, bro.
That might have been during the dark days.
Probably.
Just latched on to somebody.
Yeah.
Derek
And then the
Dietrich.
bullpen is gross. They've got a good bullpen. So I think, while it might not be the most talented team in the majors, it's definitely the most complete team in the Central. They kind of didn't make a move this offseason. I don't know that they got better in any shape, and they lost Gray. So I think they do lose some points for that, but all in all, this is still the same Twins team that won it last year and won the wild card round last year and played Houston tough in the division series. So I think it's still a good team. They're still going to be the top of the division. Right
agree.
now, the Twins projected 84 and 78.
Like I said, 84 wins.
84
and win
wins.
this division.
I'll take the over because they are playing this division, right? Like, I think they'll get a few extra games against the Royals and White Sox, and that'll propel them a little bit higher. So 86, 87, I think, is probably where they land. So I'll take the slight over on the Twins.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're going to do without Joey Gallo this year.
See their batting
It's gonna
average
be-
increase?
Poor Joey Gallo.
Joey
he
Gallo
does
was
his
one
thing.
of the league leaders in batting average for the first month of last year.
Last year, the surprise team in second place, the Detroit Tigers.
Is that who we're going to next?
They're up next. So, no, we got anything fun on the Tigers other than they play in Detroit?
They play in Detroit. 8 Mile was filmed there. Some cool additions they got this year. Kenta Maeda, Mark Canada, however the hell you say it. Jack Flaherty, Gio Urshela, and Shelby Miller. I'd like those 5 names, but those are 5 people, 5 names. Yep. Obviously, you lost Miggy, but he wasn't doing too much for you. You lost at the Erod, Spencer Turnbull, Aiden's favorite pitchers in the MLB. Honestly, can that get any worse? Maybe, but when you're at the bottom, man, the only way to go is up. You know what I mean?
Who's my favorite pitcher?
This is the second place team, bro.
Hey, bro, they suck because I
Is second place in the AL Central really second place? Like, I feel like that's like the equivalent of like 4th.
It's like being the skinny kid at fat camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen,
Y'all seem like experts.
I'm all in. I'm all in on Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson. Breakout years. Tork's hitting 30 bombs. He's not going to have 100 RBIs because the guys in front of him aren't going to get on enough for that. But Riley Green's going to be great this year. Tork's going to be great this year. Javi Baez is going to strike out less than 200 times.
Nope. That's just, I don't know if you've watched any spring training. That's just not happening. You stop talking on that.
I am worried about this rotation. I don't know if they can repeat second place with this. I feel like they've got just like I like Skubal. Obviously, Skubal's a really good pitcher.
Very good.
The addition of Jack Flaherty can go one of 2 ways because Jack Flaherty has always been this like wait until he reclaims his 2019 status when like the juice ball era and he was one of the best pitchers that year. But since then, he's been mid at best. Kenta Maeda comes over, and I mean, you're probably hoping for like a 4.3, 4.4 ERA out of Kenta, but he'll bring a good veteran presence in the middle of the order. Matt Manning was a first-round pick that hasn't quite broken out yet. This will only be his like 3rd real year pitching. The bullpen, I do like Alex Lang. I like Shelby Miller. I like Jason Foley. They got a couple lefties sprinkled in there for different looks. I think it's an okay team, but man, I'm not sold on them being able to repeat second. I will say that we just did a team draft where basically you get points for every win a team gets. If they win the division, you get an extra set amount of points. How far they go in the playoffs, you get a certain amount of points. I had the last pick in the turn, and so in the end of the third round, when it got back to me, I took the Tigers because maybe their young guys really do it this year. Maybe a Torque MVP candidacy breaks out. Um, there's cool potential here, but I don't know if they're really a threat in the Central yet. Uh, their over under is 79 and 83 on Fangraphs.
Where's Casey Mize? Is he injured, or are they just starting him off in AAA?
Casey Mize is
Not seeing him in the
here.
rotation or bullpen, which I don't like. He's in Detroit.
Oh, he's in AAA right now on
So they're starting him in
Fangraphs.
AAA. So like Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson are all obviously going to be top 10 MVP candidates this year because I drafted both of them in fantasy. So they're both obviously going to go off. You got Rangers legend Andy Ibanez on the bench. So like, don't like this team, but they could go off.
And yep, there he is.
I pressed the space bar. My bad. I didn't realize that muted my mic.
Real quick note on Casey Mize. In 15 innings this spring training, an 8.2 K per nine, but a 5.2 walks per nine. So he's been giving up a lot of control issues. Good ERA, no home runs allowed, but his expected FIP right now is over a 5 with all the walks.
They really need him and Jackson Jobe to start coming into what they thought they were going to be when they drafted them, because that could really turn that rotation around.
Another guy to look forward to in the rotation might be Ty Madden. He was a first-round draft pick out of Texas, and their when they were fourth place team a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good and came off of them for a first rounder, so he might make an appearance this year too.
That's the year they lost to A&M. So good years. He probably sucks.
Shut up.
So now who are we going to? Cleveland, or are we going to
Cleveland? We're going to Cleveland.
Okay.
Just a big old shut up, huh?
So Cleveland's obviously got bigger names than like Detroit and maybe Minnesota. You got
Do they?
I think they got a little bit bigger names than both, in my opinion. Actually, I was forgetting about Carlos Correa. It's close between them and the Twins. It's close. So you got Jose Ramirez. I think he's due for positive regression, like I was talking about with Correa earlier. I think he gets back to it. Hopefully the lineup's a little bit more protective for him. Jimenez is, like I just said, also due for some positive regression. If Josh Naylor can hit like he did last year, that'll be a good 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. His brother Bo is going into his second year, so hopefully he can put it together this year. The kid has a lot of pop from behind the plate. They got your favorite player, Ramon Laureano, out there hitting 5 for them, according to this. I don't know about that.
Miles Straw in the 7 hole.
Yeah, Miles Straw, Florial, and Rochillo. I don't know.
That's they got tough Austin 7, 8, 9, man.
Austin Hedges on the bench. You know, he's ready. The rotation is really where it shines. Like, you got Shane Bieber. He wasn't the best last year. He's a decent 1, 2, or 3. Tristan McKenzie is like probably my favorite pitcher that isn't a Ranger. He's definitely top 2. Like, I love watching Tristan McKenzie pitch. He got that injury last year, which really sucked. This year, I think this is going to be like his breakout year. Although you could say that was 2021 or 2, the year prior to last year. So I'm trying to think on that. And then they had some rookies come up last year. Bibe, he did really well last year, and I think Logan Allen may have been the other one. I got to check real quick.
And not to mention the bullpen. I mean, Place is unreal. Scott Barlow's was
Is it
brought
Clace or
over.
Clase?
I've heard it both ways. I don't really know. I've never talked to the guy.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, you find out for us. Barlow came over from a trade with San Diego in November. He's a really good setup guy for them. Good for him for getting out of Kansas City.
Maybe.
Sam Hintages. I don't know. Nick Sandlin, maybe. The Shane Bieber, he's still on the right side of 30. Like he's still only 28, 29. So maybe one more good like Cy Young kind of a run for him really puts a good taste back in your mouth when you say Shane Bieber. I feel like the last 2 years it's been kind of like, is this the guy that we really want? Or is the other guy that we saw when he was 24 the guy that we want? So I think that's a storyline for them is how good Shane Bieber is. And you're talking about this lineup, man. I like the first four names: Quan, Jimenez, Ramirez, and Naylor.
Yeah,
that's a
like.
good four.
I don't like 5 through 9.
5 through 9 is a tough sell, man. No, you got anything on Cleveland?
You guys didn't mention how Stephen Vogt, the GOAT, is their new skipper.
Oh, I believe.
Yeah.
I saw him belly slide through a water slide the other day at their spring training. So maybe he turns around this club.
That'd be a good thing.
They got the 80-year-old out of there. Maybe this is what they needed.
Another name that I didn't see on here because I just saw that he was put on probably going to start the year on IR, but James Karinchak, the crazy dude on the mound, slapped himself.
Ruined him.
Pitch clock is hurting him. He likes to touch his hair a lot. But he's got shoulder fatigue at the moment, but electric stuff and can be really useful, but I don't know what the plan is for him for this year. I think he'd fit really nice in that 6-7 slot in the bullpen, but we'll find out, I guess, when the season gets going. The Guard Dogs also have a 79-83 over-under, so the same as the Tigers. So who's gonna prevail? The Guardians or the Tigers?
I guess I'm gonna go over on this. Like,
I'm taking the over on the Tigers, so therefore I'm taking the under on the Guardians.
I'll do the same. I want Detroit to be somewhat good this year.
So then I'm swapped with y'all.
Let's go.
All right, so then I guess we're going to the White Sox now.
Let's do it. White Sox.
This
Southside
roster may be the worst I've ever seen. Like, this is in contention with the Athletics for the worst roster I've ever seen.
Oh, he's another team to do after this.
You got Benintendi leading it off. Trash. Moncada at the 2. Hyped up. Trash. Luis Robert Jr. MVP.
Good.
When he's on the field.
Trash.
Andrew Vaughn.
Trash.
I'll give him an A.
When Vaughn's on the outfield and he's not making errors in right field, he's okay.
When he's at first, he's pretty good. Paul DeYoung. Trash. Dominic Fletcher. It's bad when the only reason I know who some of these people are is because I've used their
common cards and BR.
No, the Baseball World Classic ones.
Oh.
Like Dominic Fletcher and Nicky Lopez, I used both those cards and hated them. And then you got Martin it's 2024. Why is this guy signed?
Martin got a job.
I saw a guy there was a guy on Twitter yesterday saying, well, he brings a lot to the clubhouse. His catching and his hitting really don't matter. What does he bring to the clubhouse? He talks trash to other players while hitting 130? Like, this dude's a bum. He is a
capital B
bum.
He's an idiot.
It's so bad.
Whoa.
And then you've got Garrett Crochet is your opening day starter.
What old ladies do?
I think I'd rather have to be determined than Garrett Crochet is my opening day starter. Like,
that's a first round pick, man.
Man, first, I don't care what he is. 25 now, and I don't know if I've ever seen him pitch a major league inning.
So the
He's
weird
your
thing about
opening day
Crochet,
starter.
like he was drafted in 2020, and like he made his debut in the
Yes,
bullpen
he
for the White
never
Sox
went.
that
He
year.
never did the minors to start
Like he
off.
basically just drafted the MLB level, and then he had I think TJ. I could be wrong on that, but I think he had TJ,
I don't even know.
and now they're turning him into a starter.
He was supposed to be a starter, but they
Right.
decided to start him out of the bullpen because it's the White Sox and they're one of the dumbest franchises ever.
I like him in the bullpen. I just don't know why they're flip flopping. Like if they're gonna put him in the bullpen, just let that ride. Like turn him into a stopper. Like have him be a high leverage lefty that throws 101.
I find it hard to do that to a guy, which I know what you're saying, but they did draft him like really early, and I find it hard to put a 25-year-old just straight in the bullpen.
Then don't draft him and put him. He was 21.
Like I just said, it's the White Sox. They're not smart. Like this isn't a conspiracy.
They brought over Mike Soroka from the Braves. That's a good move. That's a good move.
It sucks. Then
Soroka's coming off shoulder surgery, I think, and like he's got talent when he's on the mound. So I think that's a good trade for them.
Eric Feed, trash. Chris Flexen,
trash.
Wasn't Flexen a bullpen guy?
I don't even know. 5.02 ERA.
Trash.
Then they got Nick Nastrini. Who is Nick? He's a non-roster invite, and this is their 5th starter. Like this is
okay,
Steven Wilson
for the
John Brevia, Michael Kopech. Michael Kopech and Tim Hill are like the only 2 I know in this bullpen.
What school did Michael Kopech play for?
Who?
What school did Michael Kopech play for?
I feel like I should know this.
You should.
But I don't right now. Like I just can't think of it. PG?
Close. I believe he's a Mount Vernon guy.
No wonder he sucks. Like,
bro, they always beat the crap out of us.
yeah, well, we're like a glorified 2A.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Pause. Not Mount Vernon. The other one, Mount Pleasant.
The Cease trade. I think they got some good pieces with Colson Montgomery and change-up artist Drew Thorpe. I think they'll be pretty good when they get the shot.
We'll say this: they did win the Cease trade. I think the Padres are stupid for what they gave up for Cease.
Oh, real quick, does the Giants signing Blake Snell, does that increase your thoughts on the Giants any this year?
I think I already had them as my 2, didn't I?
I had them as the under.
I was the higher one.
Yeah, I think now I'm moving them as an over team now for me. I think Kevin Webb and
I don't know if there's a better 1-2 than that.
It's a pretty good one too.
Webb, Snell. Well, that's kind of crazy. Which Snell's not going to be ready for probably the first week or 2. I don't think for the regular season. So
it'd be like that.
I'll probably miss a start or 2.
The White Sox here were projected for a 67-95 loss team. 95 losses for the White Sox. 67-95. Over under.
Under.
They lost more games last year. There's no way they don't go under. This is such a worse team.
So we're saying 100 loss team?
I'm saying 100, maybe 120 loss team. Like this is a bad team.
120 loss team.
I'm
not going to go that far.
I'm going records. This team sucks.
All right. Last but not least, the Kansas City Royals. At least some fun players on this Royals. Noah,
they're winning it.
Hit me with the Royals.
They're winning it. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you know right now. They're winning the AL Central. Going to let you know that right now. They're going to do it.
5th to 1st, huh?
Yeah. You heard it here first, people. I know ball. They got in a lot of fun names this year. They're all going to rally together. What's his name? Bobby Witt's going to have a breakout year, even though he really doesn't need one because he's already good. He's going to have a really good year this year.
Like an MVP year?
Maybe in 2 years. Salvi, he's still productive. He might have, regressed a little bit last year, but you know what? He's still going to be a good veteran player for that team. It says right here, they've only made the postseason since the Simpsons debuted twice. twice, 2 times. That was 1980, what something? I don't even know. That show sucks. But they got a couple cool names coming in: Seth Lugo, PG legend Michael Waka, Hunter Renfro, Adam Frazier, and the GOAT Will Smith. If that Will Smith signing doesn't tell you anything, then what does?
3 World Series in a
Um,
row?
Yeah. Obviously, they've got Cole Ragans, who's going to just shove for some reason. And then Vinny Pasquantino,
Pascantino.
go. So,
How do we feel about Cole Reagan this year? Are we
Hey, Cole
hoping for a
Reagan.
great Cole Reagan's year, or are
I'm
we kind of
thinking
like hope he sucks?
Cole Reagan's may win a Cy Young. I hope he does good. He got us Chapman, and without Chapman, hate to say it, we don't win a World Series. Even though he loves his mother a little too much, he he helped us out in a big way. But like MJ Melendez, I'm really hoping he has his year where he kind of puts it together a little bit. Kind of sucks that he has to play right field or left field when he is a catcher, and he needs to be a catcher at all moments because actually he's not a good defensive catcher either. I don't know where he should play, to be honest.
He's probably should be a DH, honestly.
Bobby Witt. I mean, this is really the year that I hope he puts together a full season because last year he started off rough, but once he turned it on, and he could be an MVP candidate this year. Pascantino, everyone thinks of him kind of like as a Freddie Freeman dupe. Like everyone's like, oh, this kid could be like the next Freddie. Hoping he has it this year, doesn't get injured like last year. Salvi needs to retire. He's old. But the what the Royals kind of put him in a bad position to retire because they drafted Blake Mitchell instead of Kyle Teal. Never understand why they did that. That pisses me off. Kyle Teal is amazing. Blake Mitchell is not. Then you got Nick Pratto. I mean, do I really want Nick Pratto as my DH? Like, this dude isn't hitting for pop at all. And usually, if I have a DH, I want him hitting for pop. You got Hunter Renfro, who had probably the best catch I've seen in a while last year. And other than that, he's eh. Then you got Massey, Garcia, and Isbell. Like, the 1 through 4 on this lineup, kind of like the Guardians, looks nice. And then you get to 5 through 9, and you're like, this is a terrible lineup. So Cole Reagan's, like I said, Cy Young candidate. Seth Lugo going to be fun. Michael Walker going to be fun. Brady Singer, it's up and comer. Alec Marsh, I personally am not familiar with his game at all. And then you got the bullpen that looks okay. They've also got Kyle Wright. I don't want to forget that. They've got Kyle Wright. I think he's injured right now.
Yeah, sounds like it.
He got shoulder surgery.
I doubt you see him this year, quite frankly.
He got it in October. I don't know how long the date is on that. That's all I got for them.
Bobby Witt, go ahead and pencil it in. If you see a bet on like DraftKings or something like that for 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, go ahead and sign off on that one because he'll rack up 30 home runs. He'll steal 40 bags. The thing I love about Witt is from 22 to 23, he lowered his K percentage underneath 20%. He's got his walk percentage above 5% now. Spring training this year so far, he has struck out 4% of his at-bats. So obviously that's not sustainable, but he's seen the ball well. He's hitting the ball well. He's developed in his strikeout approach. His eyes gotten better. Expect those numbers to keep improving. A 115 WRC plus last year. High offensive value, high defensive value. You mentioned that he had a slow start. He still racked up 5.7 WAR on Fangraphs. So the dude can absolutely ball. He'll anchor this team. And obviously he signed a pretty large contract too. So he's going to be there for his career. Now, what are they going to do around him? That's the question on the Royals. I do like this pitching staff, man. I like Reagans. I like Lugo. Waka, I want to like. He's entering like his 10th year, I think, in Major League Baseball. So he's got some staying power, which is nice. I just don't know how much you can really expect from him this year. I like where Brady Singer's heading. I don't know about the fifth guy, and I don't know about the bullpen. The bullpen worries me, and then the bottom half of that lineup worries me. Um, but I think this is a fun team. Anytime you can go see the Royals play, I think you can expect a good starting pitching performance, and you get to see one of the best young players in baseball, Bobby Witt. So, and the ticket's probably going to be cheap because it's the Royals, and they're not projected to do very well. So, try to go see the KC Royals when you can. They're projected at 76 and 86.
I'm gonna go over.
Noah's already said they're winning the division, so I guess that means he's going over.
Yeah.
I will. Let's see. I'm taking the low on the Guardians, the high on the Tigers. I'm going to take the low on the White Sox, so I'll take the high on the Royals. Let's go over on the Royals just barely. Maybe they get back to 500 this year. I think that's goal for the Royals. Get back to 500. Anything else about the AL mid we got to talk about?
No.
Nope.
Sweet. In that case, I guess next week, spring training comes to a close officially here the next few days. The season starts up next week, which means we're going to celebrate our opening day with our favorite division, the AL West, and then start enjoying ball on a weekly basis. Noah, last second thoughts?
I'll have to address an elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, Aiden, get off your phone when we're doing podcast, okay? If you're gonna be on it, look at it and then look up. Stop looking down the whole podcast. We can't see your face.
I'm looking at rosters.
Yeah, we'll look at it before. Oh, congratulations to Jonathan Ramey, the new scorer of the Sugarland Space Cowboys.
Noah, who's the third baseman of the Royals?
Who do you think, Aiden?
None. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Give the channel a subscription, like this video, share it with your
Not even my
friends.
phone light.
And oh, that's so bright. You don't have to do that
Wow.
to anybody.
Why did that just happen?
Bye bye.